Thank God the school year's over. What's up, everyone? I'm back again. Woo! I want to apologize for not uploading last week. I got really busy and I just really didn't have time to do it. So, yeah. All right. I don't know what to upload. I'm going to be real with you guys. I literally have no idea. I say like, oh, comment what I should talk about next. And, it's all like, haha, fun, but I genuinely need help because there's not much interesting things to talk about. I'm at the point where I might have to talk about politics. And I don't want to talk about that. The school year is almost over for me. I have about a week left before I move out and I go back to the place where dreams are made, known as Oxnard, California. So I thought I would take this opportunity to sort of, reflect on my freshman year in college here at Arizona State University. Number one innovation, baby. That's such a fucking lie, by the way. There's no way that I believe that's true. So obviously, I'm sure many of you are probably aware, this was not a normal school year, for not just for me, but for anyone. The Stinkies is still a big threat out there, and I had to do sort of a restricted, socially distanced school year. And, it did suck. I really didn't have much of a social life. In fact, I did not have a social life at all. It kind of messes with your head when you do your schoolwork and you're sleeping in the same room. And it kind of sucks when you're spending $43,000 to sit in this tiny ass room. That kind of fucking sucks. I really fumbled the bag on this one, boys. But with that being said, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. There was some good that came out of this school year. I'm not gonna make this video be like, it was so hard and I just didn't know. There was good that came out this year. I'm not afraid to say it. So with that being said, I can hope we can all close our eyes, hold our hands, sing Kumbaya, and all reflect on my school year. Because it's all about me. So, I moved in, blah, 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 blah. I did all that. And I sort of, realized that it was going to be a strange year. What my school did, and I'm not sure how other schools did it, was they did sort of these hybrid classes where half would be in person and half would be on Zoom. And, truthfully, it didn't work very well. It was kind of a mess. People would just show up to school one day, show up to class the other day. They would not. And it didn't mesh very well with the teachers. I tried going to classes in the beginning. I did. And it just really was kind of scuffed. Some of my classes legitimately had 2 people in them. Everyone else was on Zoom. And I don't know if you know this, but it's very awkward when you're in a class with 2 other people. It's really weird when you have to get super up close and personal with the teacher because there's no one else in the class. So obviously when I sort of learned that's how school was going to be, I kind of opted to go to most of my classes or go back to online, as much of them already were. I think so far I had 2 classes that were in person this whole year. Now, yeah, it did suck that I didn't get to really make that many people, but what my school did was every other seat was closed. And I love that so much. It's so much more room. You can put your backpack on the chair. It's just so much better. It's so much low key. It's so much simpler. You don't have to sit next to fracking Rodney picking his nose. It's so much easier just to have some space. Now, when classes were online, I did Zoom. I hope that when this whole pandemic ends and we can sort of get a grip on everything, I hope Zoom gets bankrupt. I do not give a flying, fracking, flicking, fucking Lebowski. If your mom, if your dad, if your brother, if you know anyone that works for Zoom, I hope they lose their jobs. I hope you lose your house. I hope you go in debt and homeless on the streets. Zoom is the worst thing ever created. Zoom is so shittily made, despite how much money it's made in this past year. You telling me servers are that fucking shit? It's mind-boggling. And yet we're feeding into it. There's so many other alternatives. Discord works perfectly fine. And Discord actually fucking works, not Zoom. And why is Zoom an app? It's literally fucking mind games from the government trying to hide things from us. Zoom was such a horrible experience. Oh my God, it was such a horrible experience. And then also there was no student effort. You don't know. It was so awkward. It's a normal day in class would go like this. So Nick, what do you think the answer is to number 3? I wasn't listening. That's literally what class was like. And that wasn't just chemistry or math. That was literally every class. It could be sex ed and it was the same garbage. It was just it made things so unbelievably awkward. Because you could tell the teachers wanted to not do this. They looked depressed as hell. The students obviously didn't want to do it. In fact, highly doubt. I mean, I'm almost positive 90% of students that had their cameras off were on their phone doing something else during the lecture. I mean, I was, so. It just didn't flow well in the class, and I genuinely didn't learn anything. And again, I'm not gonna stand here and be like the other people, like, it's so hard to learn because online learning is so much hard. Because let's be honest, it is hard. Don't get me wrong. Many people learn differently. But in the case of lectures, let's not beat around the bush here. We weren't paying attention. I know I damn for sure wasn't. If I paid attention even like a little bit, I maybe would have learned something, but I don't. But with that being said, this is the one big pro about COVID in college, was that there were things called group chats and Quizlets. It was very easy to look up the answers for homeworks online. And it just made things a lot easier. I really didn't have to learn because I could look it up on Google. A day in the life of school for me would literally go like this. Oh man, I have to do that writing assignment. There's so many questions. Here, I'll go on the group chat and see if there's people that have the answers. Oh, they sent me a Quizlet. Let me look at it. Oh, it's on Quizlet? Oh, I'm just not going to fucking do it then. And, it really kind of ruined everyone's mojo. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like it was all bad, because genuinely my school did try their best to, sort of help, especially with the social aspect. I'm not going to lie. My RAs weren't very proactive, but it's all right. I don't have any hate towards them. So, I talked about Zoom and sort of my life in the dorm, but I feel like we should talk about my life after school, as it was still affected by COVID. Now, I live in Arizona currently, Phoenix to be exact. It's kind of a shit show here. At least it was a shit show. When California sort of went to its second lockdown, I was still in California for the first, but when I moved out, California went to the second. Arizona did not. Nothing was restricted, and everything was still open. And that was a culture shock to me. It truly was. I really didn't know how to react to it, because here I am, used to only takeout, and then I can just go into a restaurant that's like pretty much full. COVID, I luckily never got COVID. I don't know how, because I was not very careful. I mean, I was wearing a mask, so I guess I just proved that masks work. I talked a lot about the cons of, having college and COVID, not a social life, kind of hard to learn. I talked about the pros, that being that I could cheat on homework. I could, not pay attention in class. I could do my shit in pajamas. But, I think I should end it by saying that what I'm grateful for this year. I think this year really taught me that, life is going to be bullshit. It is. And there's really nothing we can do about it. Truthfully, what we need to do is, I guess, sort of, take the best out of everything that comes with life. True, I didn't have much of a social life, but I really met a couple people, and only really two of them I would consider great friends. And I think those two people that I met this year, I think they're going to have, impacts on me for the rest of my life. And I mean, I'm truly blessed that I met those people, and who knows if I never met them, I think they're going to make me better people. As this college comes down to an end, I just want to also sort of remember that, life isn't going to be easy. Just remember, life isn't always going to be easy. There's going to be BS in the way, and you just got to take life by the ears and fuck it in the ass and show life that life is your bitch. So, fuck COVID.